All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. A guy in a post office copped an attitude. I was like, couldn't hear what he was saying. He does have a little bit of an accent. It's like, did you turn it off? And they got that big COVID barrier. You can barely hear him. Big piece of plexiglass. He copped a little bit of an attitude. Maybe because he was Asian. Thought it was because he was Asian. I mean, still, I told him, look, I think it was the allergies. He wouldn't respond. Like, keep his attitude going. You're very disrespectful, if you ask me. That's a spirit. I'm his elder. But you show him a picture of me, tell him to treat me like shit. But you said it's something else, right? They they hang pictures of me in stores and tell fibs and lies about everything. Meanwhile, the guy that's actually doing what they try to say I'm doing goes in there and has the life of Riley, picks up 3 different girls, has an orgy that night. I ain't kidding you. So they do in them stores. They do in the government. The Trump's part of that government, actually. Don't let him fool you. You've already been in prison 30, 40 years ago. Like I told you before Trump came along, there's different cells. It's anarchy and gang warfare. Hopefully, she does find a place to stay because I believe she's still in the homeless mode. She might be just asking to get there for like a like what they call it, a snowbird. But again, it's the wrong direction. We'll see. I told her I remember clearly telling you not to leave. She was being sexualized, but she don't. You know, again, most people don't understand the metaphysics of it. I think they were trying to make her and I have sex. I mean, I was states away. I think where was I at that point? May have still been in Texas. I can't or Oklahoma. I can't remember. But I told her, look, don't leave. Don't leave. You have a nice apartment. Yeah, she's trying to get me to move in. I think I can't move in because you're in that program. And I said, besides, I don't. And then she tried to get me to move to Santa Fe, and No, it wasn't her and I. It was them. Again, they are legion. They are many. They call themselves government and private investigator and spies. They are legion. They are many. And they tried to sexualize her, and she freaked out. She ran away because they were loading up her apartment with sex demons. I think, yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, something reminded me. They were trying to get us to do phone sex, like online or online sex, so they could get the video and sit around and go, look, 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 look. I mean, they wax, man. They all wackos, weirdo wackos. Well, because their whole thing is that I don't do charity; I just do things to get sex. So they would want something like that. Is that the reason I didn't do it? No. So don't pat yourself on the back. There's no reason to do it. What? No reason for sex? We thought you wanted sex from everyone. That's what our people say. I'm gonna say hi to this woman just to see the reaction in the world. Our dog's like really running. How you doing? Yeah, I had to look at this woman got a license plate that's CYCLEN, Cyclen. But Clen is like clenbuterol. It's like a bodybuilding drug. Cyclen. I know she's not a bodybuilder. Maybe she rides her bike. And you cycle clenbuterol. I think it's called clenbuterol. Sounds good, right? Well, there may have been a reaction when I had a conversation with that woman that they upped the ante on the harassment. So I'm looking for that. And of course, I'm not going to let them win that battle because then they'll just keep doing it. And then they'll get like a Weinstein bonus. Satan gives Weinstein bonuses too. She's got a labradoodle or a cockadoodle. I don't know what those things are called. Pretty cool looking dog. That's a beautiful day. I got to get out on my bicycle. I got to finish that arc. Let me get back in there, and I got to make some appointments for doctors. They were supposed to make the appointment for me, but it was just really bizarre. Who knows? It could have been a setup, you know. Not from. I don't think she was in on it, but and none of the doctors were available that she was calling. Then she gives me the number, told me to call. Nah, Trump being in office was part of what wrecked my life. Beyond a certain point, it was already wrecked. Right. Oh, he's a devil, man. He backs all the devils. You mean Trump the Christ is a devil? Get it? Trump the Christ. He's trumping the Christ. Hmm. No, I told you the whole time. That religious side of it, no. I said a couple times it could be, but that's left to be seen. Because there was nothing at a certain point specifically ruling him out. Just because he's not a liberal doesn't. Well, because if he does in fact provide, again, there's certain things that happen during COVID that assured him being a devil. Before that, it was up in the air. When they started cutting people's, disability benefits and stuff, for people that were on straight up disability, started cutting SNAP. Like I told you, all you have to do is not bring in new people as fast as you used to if you felt the program was too loose. I'm not telling you not to do it. You bring in who you think deserves it. But that's how you don't take money away from people that are in it, especially when they weren't getting anything. It's funny because in Texas, they're not getting hardly anything. In New Mexico, I think they had like 4 times what they normally get or something. So they lived okay. So the whole thing about my friend going back to work, I tried to explain it to her. I said, you can work, but when you work, your life falls apart because of your disability. So no, you can't be off of disability. You can't be off of the programs. Because she's been homeless on and off throughout her life. She doesn't like, I'll live in my car. Well, you work out of your car. You can't live in your car. Besides, the car you're working out of, you gotta be ready to buy a new one. And she did, I get it. She owes money on that. Because you bought something that probably broke down, I think. Then she lost her dog. She had that nice apartment, her dog. But again, Trump hates disabled people. Oh, but he saves the kids in abortions. Yeah, as soon as they're born, he hates them. Probably hates them before they're born. Just likes that grist mill to keep going. So I got my mold in for some of my project. I'm waiting on some things tomorrow, some golden candlesticks or candle stands. But I gotta go and put the base is dry now. Painted it. That's the initial painting. Like once it's all together, I'll paint it again. But got all my initial painting on the base. The pine doesn't look bad at all. It has a nice grain to it, almost oakish. There's some knots in it, but it wouldn't have took much to spruce it up. But I'd rather use the aspen. At first, I was wanting it to be smooth, but looking at this particular paint I used on the grain, I'm like, wow, that looks good. I'm looking for that Gothic haunted house look kind of thing. Like that Turkish Aran Hukadesh. So before I was doing Aran Hukadesh things, I knew something about Turkey and Jews. And theoretically, we passed through Turkey on the diaspora, which would make sense. Well, Hashem says that kind of stuff. I don't know for sure, but and of course there's like as you go back further, there's more and more people, right, involved going off in different, 2 families. My mother and my father's family. Then my father has his mother and father, and then my mother has her mother. So it just keeps expanding out, right? So you go back to the diaspora. Right, a lot of different families through time. They're all proud of me. So I pulled up the USPS and I hit the end broadcast, end stream. And I guess Hashem was in my mind, and Satan was in there, and Hashem. things like, you could have had one of those, muscle cars or Broncos, and bringing up all the people that I grew up with, on Facebook, and have great lives, and they're still dating somebody or married, and they have a Bronco, or the one guy still has a Mopar back from the day. I had a '69 Barracuda, and he had a '70 Charger, or '69. I can't remember. I think it was '70 Charger. He had a Charger, a white Charger. He's got a Challenger now, and just as I look to my left, I say, well, I wouldn't give up being a civil rights man for nothing. A real civil rights man, not some bullshit artist who actually looks out for the rights of one group and not another, and then violates the rights of another. And then, this minivan pulled up just as I was saying it, and a black man pulled in and looked over at me. And I just said, as he looked over, I get done with the thought, I will give up being a civil rights man